How's it going, folks? We're live here from Dublin, Ireland. I have two Tims from Glasgow, and then I have another one from the south side of Dublin watching us, chatting with us tonight. So, you're probably wondering what the hell am I wearing blue on the Celtic page. So, obviously, Dublin won the All Ireland today, so 6 in a row champions. But we're here to talk about obviously the big game tomorrow, the cup final. So, Chris, I have Caitlin, and I have Danny. I don't know where she's gone now. She'll be back in a second. So, how is everyone keeping tonight? Chris, you all good?
Keeping well, yeah. Keeping well.
Keeping well, good stuff. What about yourself, Danny? All good, aye?
Huh?
You all good yourself, Danny, aye?
Yeah, delighted. Dublin won today, so.
Good stuff. And Caitlin, what's the story with yourself on the drink tonight for the big game tomorrow?
Oh, good.
Good stuff.
Yep.
Right, so
Can't wait.
it's a weird final, as we all know. Obviously, there's no fans there. We're all a bit kind of saying to ourselves, Jesus Christ, watching this tomorrow on Premier Sports. Obviously, the pundits there. It's going to be strange when we obviously got the taste of it against Aberdeen in the semi-finals. It was just a strange environment. Yeah. Is it a case that with Hearts, it could be an advantage for Hearts because there's no Celtic fans there tomorrow? What do you think, Chris?
I think that's a good point, to be fair. I think we've seen, obviously, with this season being, well, kind of topsy-turvy. Obviously, we've been 16 points clear. I think the fans, it is, it's no helping the players, so... But the thing is, it's a final. Anybody can beat anybody, so it's not going to be in the park. It's not going to be, we're going to win. It's a final, so it can be anybody's game. It doesn't matter if Hearts are in the championship. I think really it's 50-50. I think probably we've got the upper hand, obviously, because we've got the better players and stuff like that. But to be fair, we've got to be on a game tomorrow, and if we're on a game tomorrow, we'll win.
Do you think it'd be just a normal Celtic, like back to the time, like we got back to the previous time we played Hearts, we just scraped it. Second half, obviously we turned up. Danny Edwards lob goal. What do you think of that final? Loved it. It was obviously they took the lead, and then we got the penalty. And then we got the Lustig header straight on to Edwards, and then he just chipped it on. But is it a game for tomorrow for Edward, Caitlin? Do you think, would you start Edward tomorrow? Is she there?
Yeah. I wouldn't start him.
Would you start him, or who would you?
For the second half.
So who would you start?
Who would? Bruni, see how he, and then definitely, and Julian.
Julian's obviously going to start anyway with Duffy. I don't question that. I think obviously Hazard has to play tomorrow, Chris. Definitely Hazard has to play.
Aye, definitely. He's been, well, for a young boy, he's doing good. He's doing well. Yeah.
It's a case that we should still strengthen in January. Like, I know there's loads of rumours with Fraser Foster floating around. Do you think it can happen, Danny?
Man, fuck Foster. He has the opportunity for to stay and see out the 10. He fuck Foster, fucking. I have no second thoughts. No.
But he was on loan. That's the thing. Like, people are going real bitter about this. He was on loan. Yes, we went in, tried to get him in the summer. The wages were too high. He wasn't going to take...
Decision. Ultimately, it's his decision, and he chose to go back down to the 5 first, and he's not getting it. So now he wants to come back.
I'd take him back short term. I think the likes of Bain. I think Bain needs to go on loan. Barkas, what do you think of him, Caitlin, so far? How would you rate Barkas so far, Caitlin, in the Celtic shirt? Shit, waste of money. Is a case that Yeah, your internet is going a bit jumpy at the moment. I just have the fear, like a lot of Celtic fans this week since the Kilmarnock game. Is he gonna bring Brown back in? Is he gonna leave Turnbull out? And that's what a lot of people want. A lot of people want Turnbull and Sorrell to start, and Brown needs to be ditched. Maybe the last 20 minutes. What do you think of that, Chris?
Well, obviously, there's been a kind of dip in form the last couple of games, apart from the Leo game and the last game against Kilmarnock. Sorrow and Turnbull have done immense. I didn't actually watch the Leo game, but well, what I've heard is good things, and also I watched them against Kilmarnock. It's a hard one. It is usually a hard one because Brown is, you know, he is a club captain, and the fact that it's against Hearts, it's a final. He'll be pumped up. He'll be ready. So it wouldn't be, it wouldn't be the kind of end of the world if he does start. If he's not playing great, we can get Sorrow on, or vice versa. It is a hard one. I couldn't decide basically because, as I said, Brown is the captain. He's always pumped up for these kind of things, but Turnbull and Sorrow have been doing great for the.
But it's crazy to think, like, if you start Brown tomorrow, a lot of people on social media are just gonna be like, "What is Brown starting?" But if they leave him out, like obviously on the bench, people will be like, "Oh, that's the best decision that can do," and he is the captain. Like, I don't know if you agree with me. I don't think Conor McGregor is a captain for Celtic. I know we've done well the last two games. I'd rather give it to Julian or Royer. What do you think of that, Danny?
I wouldn't give Christopher Hyra anyway. No, for me, it's definitely Turnbull and Sorrow go in there. McGregor's not a captain. He doesn't have that leader of men trait. He's still just a little boy. You see that, like, he's the same with Christie, Forrest. You look across the team, they're all like they're experienced in the Scottish Premier League, but they're not like Scott Brown where he's going to dominate. And do you know what I'm trying to get across? Like, they're not like leaders.
Mm-hmm. They're not like a Joe Ledley or a Charlie McGrew kind of type of player. You mean?
They're not going to bully people off the ball and win like 75-25 tackles. Do you know that kind of way? They just don't have that grit the way that Brownie does. Now, for me, I'd definitely go in with and Sorrow over Brownie, and then put Brownie on for the last half an hour to see it out. Because at that stage, Turnbull and Sorrow, I would say, would have done enough to get us up in the game, and then bringing Brownie on, we'll be able to either pull him on back or push one up, depending on what we need at the time. But for me, they don't ahead of Brown. No question.
You've seen it. 2 or 3 people made me last night. They were saying that Barker should be starting because it's a cup game. What do you think of that, Caitlin? Even though Hazard's playing well.
No, I don't know.
I had a couple of mails on Facebook last night and one on Instagram. They were like, "This is my 11." People are saying like, it was like Barkas, it was Frimpong, it was Duffy, it was Julian, it was Laxall, it was Brown, McGregor, Sorrow, Christie, Mohammed, and Edwards. I personally feel I love Edward to bits. I don't think he's shown up in the big games this season. Fair enough. He scored against AC Milan, but like, I know we didn't have him in the derby. I just think his head's not in it. I think he'd be away in January if he just wants to keep up.
Eddie, towards last season, was untouchable. This season, he's just gone to absolute mince. For me, Griff is ahead of him with Klimala and Majay.
Klimala, the thing about Klimala is, Chris, he reminds you of Scott McDonald. He just chases everything down, tries to hold the ball, but there is goals in him, but he's not a prolific goal scorer.
Yeah, he has a sub kind of player. He'll bring that kind of, you know. Aye, he's more of a sub player. He comes on the part and he'll do something. Do you know what I mean? He'll help. It's obviously a bit like Griffith as well. But I think Griffith should be starting more times than he should be. As your man was saying there, Edwards. No, this season there's just something not right, and it's really really annoying because he's talented. He's a great player, but this season he's been really frustrating. Now, half the time, no seen a lot of Edward, obviously because not everything we see, and it's just like his heart's no there, as your man said, and it's just really annoying. Play for the jersey, but this is the biggest season in history. And
In recent history, you know.
in history, yeah. I mean, obviously you can't be a European Cup win, but we won the other one, so
That's it.
it's just no. His price tag has gone down. I'm telling you, it's no. It's frustrating. It really is.
Caitlin Gibson saying, I thought I knew that face from the bottom left. Another TikTok view for you there, Caitlin. Oh, God. So, Caitlin, who are you going up front tomorrow? Are you going Edward? Are you going Griffiths? Are you going to Yeti, Klamala? She's going quiet.
I'd say either Griffiths or Klamala. It's breaking up.
It is definitely. It's like you're saying something, and then within 10 seconds, it's jumped up. You said Griffiths, did you?
Yeah, she said Griffiths and Klamala.
Well, a few people in the comments have said 4-4-2. I don't think Lennon will go 4-4-2. Look, it's Hearts are good midfields. Do you have Naismith? Do you have Halliday?
Yeah, either Griffiths or...
What? What is it? I think you should come back in anyway. If you want to try to reset your phone or something, probably about 50 apps open. That's why you're not getting the sound across.
Oh, the TikTok.
All the TikTok notifications are coming through. That's what has it going 90.
Turn mine off.
Right, I'll try.
Right, you come back in, right? Well, I'll have the two boys for the time being, and we'll get you back in. You have the link there anyway. So, anyways, get the comments going, folks. Throw the comments at us. Tell us our starting lineup for tomorrow as well, because we're going to go through a right back situation. Danny, who do we go with? We go with Jeremy Frimpong, or do we go with Christopher Neuer?
I go with Neuer and play Frimpong in front of him. Mainly because Neuer's been doing so well of late, going forward, and you have speed of Frimpong capabilities with Neuer behind him. Give him that little bit more cover, because like he's not a proper right back. Like, he's not strong enough. He's not big enough. Do you know that kind of way? He's quick. So
he's unbelievable quick. Like, he's class attacking.
I don't understand why you're not utilising Frimpong on the right, because he can be dangerous. Like, I watched him in Hamden against Gibbs, and the speed of him is unreal. Like, you can appreciate it on the telly when you're pitch side and you're watching it. You're looking at this kid and he's like he'd leave James Forrest in the Hackney place. And I don't understand why Lenny isn't putting him in.
Yeah, we can hear you perfect now.
He's out.
What do you think of that, Chris? Do you agree with Danny on the whole Frimpong? Like, he's not a defender. He's a fantastic at putting forward. Like, obviously, he's younger than James Forrest. James Forrest is what, nearly all 30 now, isn't he?
Not sure actually what James Forrest age is. Aye, Frimpong is. He's as a Scottish Sinclair song said. He's fast. He's a fast little man. Aye, I totally agree.
He's 20.
I don't think Ayers for that position. I don't agree, but if he plays well, yes. But I would go with Frimpong, definitely.
Frimpong as in right mid or right back?
Right back.
Right back. Right. So where do we put Oyer then? Because Oyer's playing well at the moment. He got an assist against Lille.
I would central defence, just in the where his position is.
So you go 3-5-2, would you?
Aye. I would go with that and see how I'm playing. Definitely.
Right. So left back situation, Danny. What are we going for? Who be putting in the mix?
Laxalt, is he injured or what?
Laxalt, no, it's just Taylor's been playing recently.
Oh no, Laxalt. Taylor still at Kelly standards. I'd 100% keep Laxalt there.
You still think that? I thought he played well against Kilmarnock. I know he was against his old team.
Consistent, like you need to be consistent at Celtic, and you need to hit the floor runner, and that's what Laxalt did. And to be fair, to a point, so did Duffy. Duffy had a whopper dip. Laxalt had a little wobble, and he's back on the bench. Whereas I'd go with Laxalt, Julian, Oyer, and Air. Sorry, I'd go 4 at the back, and then a Jetty and Griff up front.
A Jetty wash. the swish wash. Right. A couple of, how's it going, Katrina Harkin? How are you keeping? I just want to say hello to everyone that's watching on the 3 platforms. So if you can do us a favour, even retweet it, mention a friend, or share it, I really appreciate it. Personally, with left back situation, I go with Taylor. I just think Taylor would be more physical for it. Laxall's cracking at 4, like pushing up forward, very similar to Frimpong. Like, he's not afraid of attack, Laxall, but just because Taylor's on a bit of form after doing well against Kilmarnock, I'd keep him in there. Unfortunately, Caitlin won't be coming back in, folks. Our Wi-Fi's a bit on the old rusty. I think Nicky Sturgeon got a hold of it tonight after the news, to be honest.
Probably.
That's it. Someone's saying there to you, Chris, why would you break up Julian and Duffy? That man doesn't have a clue. Now, the man does have a clue, but he's just, when you're on a live, it's kind of hard to think sometimes what to come out with.
Everybody has an opinion.
Aye.
Especially when you've won 9 titles in a row and we're playing crap. And we're playing crap because management decisions, COVID restrictions. I mean, the no fans. It's playing a part. It is. I mean, look, I look at the Spanish league. Barcelona. Arsenal. Let Arsenal. I mean, they're no world beaters. They're no Liverpool, but I think they're lying in 15th.
Yeah.
So I would go with, but I would play Julian Duffy, yeah, but just that hard decision to make. I'm glad I'm just not the manager. It's just an opinion. It's a cup final. Everybody has, you can bring in somebody that's 13 and come in, and they might score a hat-trick. It's a cup final. The pressure's on. Anybody could do anything. Hearts could beat us 3-0. That doesn't happen. But it's a hard team selection for Lennon because we've been playing crap, and then the last couple of games we've brought in fringe players, if you can say that, and they've done well.
Right, this is what I'm going to go back to the Brown thing and Turnbull, Danny. Right, you know what Turnbull can deliver? Dead ball situations, energy, chases things down, creates chances, corners, everything we have there. Scott Brown, what can he deliver? I know we've had Scott Brown for 600 odd games, but this season, what has Scott Brown delivered? He's only delivered on 2 games. That was against Aberdeen away when he came on, but yet he gave away a flawless fucking mistake that cost a penalty.
Well, to be honest, what I see Brown doing these days is getting the ball and playing it sideways or backwards. He doesn't have that let's do them mentality anymore. It's just he wants to hold the ball and pick the right ball and just slow it down. Where we have the players that need the ball quick. Like, you need to play the ball into Edouard's feet quick. Edouard doesn't want the ball like ahead of him, or he has to slow down. He wants it at his feet, and he has to play it quick. And all Bruni does is slow the play down. For me, like, as much as I love Scott Brown, like, everyone loves Scott Brown, but he has to realise that at this point, he's being selfish in continuing staying on, and expecting to be playing in the starting 11 every week. Because if you look at what Turnbull and Sorrow have done since they've come in, it's a completely different team altogether.
100%. And you can see, like, even in the midfield, you can see them getting stuck in, Chris. Like, you could see Sorrow breaking everything down. It has that Wanyama feel to him. Even Kayal feel to him.
3 or 34 or something, isn't he?
Brownie's 36.
Right. At 36, he's trying to manage his energy levels more than what he's trying to expel energy through the game. He's trying to see the game out because he knows if he breaks his bollocks for the first 45 minutes, he's going to get run over the top of for the next 45.
Well, the thing I was saying was, the previous people on the podcast, I think I'll keep Brownie for the game in Ibrox. You know, I'll keep him out of sides. You know, just as you said, rest him. We do have Ross County on Wednesday in the league at home. We all know what happened the last time we played Ross County in domestic football. And then we have Dundee as well. Sorry, folks, I'm laughing at these people from Derry. They're just literally just commenting below everything on Facebook here. But Chris, what's your starting lineup? What's your 11? What is your 11 that could go on and win this quad treble?
God, Keith, you're putting me in the spot here.
Who's in goal?
Who's in goal? Is it me in goal now? The skill bag in goal?
I mean, a final is a final, right? Obviously, see if there was fans in, would you question the young man to go in and be in goals? That's the thing. There's
definitely not. I just think it's. I know we keep saying the football's not without the fans, but at the same time, they're getting paid a good wage cap here to go out and generate wins, and that hasn't been to the standard this season. Like, who would have thought at the start of the season that we would have been playing mints like this? 16 points behind, fans smashing up buses, barricades getting thrown like WWE, people fucking calling for Lennon's head to be cut off, you know, like sickening stuff, sickening scenes, like something, you know, like Walking Dead, like a Celtic Park at this rate. But I understand frustration with the fans. I agree with the Celtic Trust. I think they've done it the right fashionable way. No violence at the protest. They voiced their opinion. When the team came out the other day for the Kilmarnock game, they cheered the team on. They don't like the board, and we all know the way the board went the other day. It was absolutely shocking with the AGM. But back to your starting 11. People want to hear it. What's the starting 11 for you? Starting Lennon 11. Go with your heart. Like, people are going to disagree with you. People are going to agree with you. Look, 50 people watching. You can't keep everyone happy.
I tell you what, do you think if Lennon's starting 11 was, you know, Messi times 11, I think people would still disagree. I probably actually would start the young man.
Conor Hazard?
Yes. I probably would go with Duffy. I'm going to skip to midfield now and
Go back to defence.
well, I play Sorrow. Do you know what? I mean, it's really hard to decide.
You're gonna need a pen. You're gonna need a pen and paper and write this out, don't you?
I'm going to need a
fit.
You're
gonna fit. I get like that the odd time as well. Danny, we'll ask you about your starting 11. Chris, we'll come back to you. But you get the pen and paper there when you're on the live and think about it. Danny, who's going? It's like Monday Night Football, Chris. You just get the little board out and start going. You know.
It's the old crystal clear they're talking.
Oh, that's the Putin juice, is it? The Putin Punisher. Right, Danny, we're gonna go to you.
Yeah, I'd start Conor Hazard. Obviously, it's a cup final and stuff, and Scott Bain will have that more experience than him. But in terms of form, I think you can't not give it to Hazard and how his last performance was. I'd go Laxalt, Christopher, Julian. Then I'd go Duffy and put Air out on the right. I'd put Christie out left.
Out left? That's a controversial one here. We have Mohamed Al-Lucy that's playing well and Mickey Johnson in the mix as well.
Yeah, right. Put Mo out left. Put Turnbull in the middle with Sorrow. I'd put Frimpong on the right. I'd go up top with Klimala and Griff.
Where's Macca going? McGregor's getting dropped.
Right.
Yeah, I'm out for McGregor, don't you?
Yeah, big time.
I thought he played well against Lille. He was average against. I don't know why people are boasting about him against Kilmarnock because he didn't really show much effective in the game. Being effective, I just feel like under Neil Lennon, he hasn't really coached them well.
Done doing is because the lads are like, fuck it, I'm still going to get my jersey.
That's it, and it's that's what we find this season with Lennon. As much as I love Neil to bits, I just feel like it's flavour of the month, and this is why we're going down to this conversation with Scott Brown. Is it flavour of the month because he's the captain? He has to be put out there. Will he have a rift that if Lennon decides, look, I'm going for the best team that's won the last 2 games? Sorry, Brownie, you're getting rested again. We go back to that alphabet ad that was released on Tuesday, and Scott Brown is there leading in the tunnel, saying, "Come on, to Turnbull," So it's just absolutely shocking. Look, I just think Brownie shouldn't be playing. Bring him on the last 20 minutes, make a difference. If we're chasing a game, I don't know. I don't know if you bring him in as a bit of a push the team forwards, but I feel like Callum McGregor, since he's always been boasted to go to the likes of Leicester and linked to other teams, I think he just hasn't put the level of Callum McGregor in that we used to see.
But any decision you make is going to be like, as a Celtic manager, you're going to get criticised for. If he drops Brownie and puts in Turnbull and Sorrow, and we lose, people will be like, if Brownie hadn't played, we wouldn't have lost. Or if you start Brownie and you leave Turnbull and Sorrow out, there's always going to be people who aren't happy with whatever the fuck, because that's just how they are.
But I honestly think, Chris, I've been just thinking about this the last hour or so when it comes to Hearts. I think Brownie will play because of basically the whole situation with Brownie. We need people in there that can actually wind them up in the midfield. I don't think Callum McGregor's going to wind up Naismith or Halliday. So that's the reason why I think Brownie will start. I don't want Brownie to start, but I think that's, as a tactical reason, I think Lenny will go with that.
It's hard to decide if, as you said, but I think Brown probably gets a lot. It's the fans that probably help him get pumped up. I've not really seen it yet, but I think Scott Brown is a professional as he is. He probably will say, look, I don't decide. I don't decide the team. I don't think I should start Turnbull and Sorrow doing better than me. I think that he's that kind of guy. Aye, I think Turnbull should start. Sorrow. I mean, it's mad because you think Sorrow. I mean, it was like I'm trying to think of players that you used to think.
You know, every time someone says sorrow, that bleeding Proclaimer song is stuck in my head. Sorrow, sorrow. That's stuck.
Fans in there because if he scored the winning goal, Hearts would hate it. If he sang sorrow, sorrow.
So, right, Ian, that's watching on YouTube. Thanks very much. Turnbull has to start. His introduction has been a game changer, more ability than most of us thought. Set piece, player like Duffy can strive from this. What do you think? You agree with that, Danny?
Yeah, 100%. I just read that there as well. That's 100% accurate. Like if his corners have been a lot better than Christie's have been. So I can see Turnbull doing well on set pieces, and Duffy will thrive on them.
I just have a feeling he's going to play E tomorrow ahead of Edward and Griff. I'd play Griff. I'd start Griff. I said, why not? Like, you know, he hates Hearts. He knows how important it is to play against them.
But you never gave us yours.
My starting 11 will be Hazard. I won't play Frimpong right back. I play Oyer. I know people are laughing at me. I play Taylor. I bring Laxall on with Duffy, Julian, Sorrow, Turnbull, McGregor, Christie, Mohamed Anusi, and I'll go Griffiths. I just think, why not give Griffiths a half? Doesn't work out, bring Hodgson on. And the score I go for tomorrow, I'm going to go 2-1 after extra time. I think Hearts have it in them to cause us a threat. I think Hearts are still a good team. You know, like, fair enough, they were relegated over the circumstances of being bottom of the table, COVID-19 and all here. But they still have a Premier League team there. They've boys that can cause problems. Like, Hearts played Rangers in the quarters. They beat Hibs in the semis. Played Falkirk. I think they played St. Mirren as well. So they've had a good run at this cup. You know?
Yeah, but still, though, fuck them.
Like, we played Clyde. We beat Clyde 3-0. We played Partick Thistle actually in the first game. That's when we actually went with the two up front. The first time we seen Edward and Griff. Then we obviously played St. Johnstone away. We just banana skimmed that game. And then we played Aberdeen in the semis. So, on paper, realistically, Hearts have had a tougher route into the final. But if we win this tomorrow, it's a world record of trebles. And what's taking the buzz out of this is because the fans are not there, Chris, and it's because of the shite that's went on this season. And that's why people are not used to this stuff. Like, it's a cup final. Let's go on the drink on a Friday night and get steaming for Sunday or Saturday. You know, usually the cup final is always on a Saturday.
Yeah.
But here's a question to you. I know this. Some people might say this is a no-brainer, but I have to ask you anyways. So we've won the last 3 Scottish Cup finals. Danny, what has been your favourite one? The Aberdeen, the Motherwell, or the Hearts for the treble?
I go Aberdeen.
The Tom Logic.
Oh yeah, you can't beat that.
I think that, like, you know, you go back to the card that you look at, like, Tierney's mouth getting smashed up. Roger's coming on from. Roger played average for the game, and then he just came out with this wonder magic in stoppage time. And we missed a couple of sitters that game as well. You go back to that, Chris. The Aberdeen game, was that your favourite?
Do you know what? I think it has to be, actually. I remember. I'm going to get mixed up here and say the Motherwell game was before the Aberdeen game.
No, it was his year after. I was over in Glasgow for it. We won 2-0. The champ scored a belter and Solid McGregor.
I ended up going to the Motherwell game, but I was in the Squirrel when we won the game against Aberdeen.
When you're never in the Squirrel. That's it.
I never knew anybody behind me. Literally, when I turned around, see when Roderick scored that goal, I think I cuddled everybody in the pub. We went out to do the huddle. It was raining typically, and it was just a great day. The Motherwell game actually went to Hampden, and it was
a sunny day in Hampden, so it was over actually for the game. Because they were all singing "F the Royal Wedding" and all that. Shove your royal wedding up your.
Aye, I wasn't singing. Aye, so that game against Motherwell was like, it was history again, but it was just like, you know.
I think we're all eager to get Paddy Roberts on the pitch that day, and it didn't happen. Because I remember going to Bruni's testimonial the following day. But the Motherwell game was a good day because I was just love being in Glasgow. But the treble last year, oh Jesus, the Badass Cafe, what a day! I just remember looking at a Snapchat there literally a couple of months ago, and I'm walking down the road and I'm steaming. I end up losing my Celtic scarf. I lost one of my zip ups and all. I was that steaming coming home. And I was at home and all in bed by 10 o'clock that night because I was that absolutely gone. Like,
when are you not
true.
steaming?
Craig Gordon's playing against us tomorrow, folks. Craig Gordon, a lad that I felt that was sold out by the club.
100%.
We should have kept him. He wouldn't have this situation now here at the moment. I know Gordon. Danny, regards to Gordon, what does he have? What was the pros of Gordon?
Sorry, say again.
What was the pros of Craig Gordon?
Just the stability. Like, okay, his distribution was fucking shite. But the goalkeeper and the shot stopper. Like, you've seen the clips. He's double and triple saves throughout the years in the Celtic top league. It was unbelievable. Like, he's a fantastic goalkeeper.
And he was a free as well.
Yeah. Like, I don't understand. Like, why? Let him go. Maybe there was a clause in his contract or something that he'd go back to Hearts before he retired or something.
No, it's just the basically they had negotiations on 2 different occasions with him before he left, and it came to the case where he wasn't willing to take a pay cut.
But do you know what it's like? It's like you've got a really nice girlfriend, right? In this case, Craig Gordon is a really nice, good girlfriend, right? But she's an absolute thunder bitch. Every single time Celtic keep looking, oh, give us Forster. And then ended up picking off their girlfriend, and she's fucked off, and then Forster fucked off. They left her alone.
A lot of people in the comments are talking about Barcast. So Kenny's to bring up Barcast there. I hope that's not my echo on my side, folks. If it is, there's a bit of a clicking noise, folks. Let us know if you can hear that. I see. Yeah, it must be my side, folks. I do apologise. So, basically, Barcast. People are saying, look, why did we scout a keeper that was highly rated in European standards, and yet he's gone falling to the dogs? So people are arguing, saying, have you looked at how bad he's been playing?
Still just
I'm gonna remove myself for a second, folks. We'll use to talk about this.
that.
Yeah, so apparently we're now running Come On the Hoops.
The takeover.
No, I genuinely don't rate Barcast at all.
Nah, you always give somebody time. It's one of the things. I think. I mean, Ben hasn't. He's not been great, sort of thing. But the sort of thing is, Barkas hasn't been any better, sort of thing. So, are you back, Keith? Sorry, folks, we're having a wee bit of technical difficulty here, so we're waiting for the main man to come back in. I can't ask you any questions because I don't see any comments, but kind of hoping, the starting 11 will be the best starting 11 and we'll win what is,
Can you hear me now?
I can just hear you, aye.
What about now? Just give me 1 second. I do apologise about this, folks. I don't know why, because it was working grand earlier on. I don't know if someone else's stream. Yeah, it should be working perfect. Yeah, the microphone's on. So let us know if you can hear
that. I'm going to pour a vodka.
Right, I'll go through the comments anyway, and let me see.
Right.
1 second, we get you off this. So if Forrest comes back, the squad will improve. I 100% agree with you. I think obviously with James Forrest being out, he's been missing on the right wing. He needs to be productive, It'd be like a new signing when Forrest comes back. I've had a few people saying, "Oh, you need to get the F on that," but you'll see it because Forrest has come up in the big games for the goals. So why not? See, you were linked with a QPR winger. I haven't seen that. Now I know we're linked with a lad from Philadelphia Union, Sutton Jackson. He wants to come over. So let's see. Hope that deal plays out. Obviously, in this window coming, we need to strengthen. We need to strengthen goalkeeper. We need to strengthen. I still think we need another striker. Now it sound crazy. It'll be 4 strikers there, but the 4 strikers are not in consistent form. This is the headache about tomorrow. Do you play Griff? Do you go with Edward? Do you go with Yeti? No gin tonight, folks. No gin tonight. I think from a Celtic statement, I think it'd be embarrassing to put Barkas on loan because he's been highly rated so much, but I think he just needs to fight for the shorts. Maybe it's just a case that he's not settling. Look at the situation with El Hamid. El Hamid is claims that his career at Celtic is over. He's missing his family in Israel. He's depressed. We're going to need to strengthen another right back as well, because as we've talked about, this Frimpong is not a right back. He's quality pushing forward, but he can't defend for shit. He's not strong enough. He needs to get the legs done up. More muscle on the legs. So, will Shane Duffy hit his best form in Scotland, or he never get used to the Scottish game? I think he will. What do you think of that, Chris? Shane Duffy, will he hit his best form?
Do you know what I think he will? Obviously, the restrictions can he help? I don't know what kind of protocols obviously Celtic have.
No gin tonight. Someone's asked me about gin, but yeah.
I think he'll thrive on it. I just think Duffy will need the fans to kind of help him
feel like he's playing for his childhood club.
Yeah. I mean, it's no easy playing for the most successful Scottish football club in the world. I just think if he starts,
I think he probably hasn't even met a couple of fans yet. But exactly. You get off the coach and they'll do the signatures and stuff like that. That's a big loss. And they might see someone that.
See, that's the thing. See, if you meet somebody in a restaurant and you see people, and obviously different players are different. I mean, I've met players over the years. Obviously, I'm nearly 31 now, and I've met different players, and some of them are very fan friendly. Some of them are no, which see if they do well for the team. That's fine. But I think with Duffy, I think the fans met him in the street. He would probably get hyped up with that, and you probably think, right, he's a
but you're going back to 6 weeks ago. 6 weeks ago, he's getting pelters abuse. People are like, sell him, not sell him, like send him back to Brian. I'll pay, I'll drive him down. Like, I understand, like, as a, you know, the famous quote, form is temporary, class is permanent. Like, look, Duffy is not class. He's a good defender. He reads the game quite well. He's playing a different style of football. He was at Brighton. He's a Republic of Ireland captain. He's played in the Premier League. He's helped Brighton save relegation many times. I know people might say it's a different class, Brighton to Celtic. Of course it is. The hype in Glasgow, especially for 10 in a row, is bigger than escaping a relegation battle. Financially, it's not, because you get like 35 million for escaping the Premier League from being relegated. But I think it's probably hit him overwhelming. Not his dad passing away, getting the Ireland captaincy, getting come to Celtic, childhood club, have a chance of winning 10 in a row, not seeing the fans, going through this shit spell, getting a lot of social media negativity. I'd have a breakdown. If that was me, like one or two comments sometimes piss me off for the day, as much as I try not to think about it. You know, I'm just trying to say that troll warriors, but if it's consistent flow of abuse, how are you meant to shy away from that?
I think obviously when you're under pressure and, you know, somebody tells you you're kind of doing wrong, it's obviously no nice. It's you know, as the pressure's on you sort of thing. He's come up with I'm going to say he's got a big price tag, but if we were to buy him, it would be probably a big price tag. And I think obviously he's come up probably expecting to steamroll the league. Passings in his family's probably kind of, you know, it must take toll on players' minds, and I think obviously us as fans, we're gutted that we don't have the football. It's not the same watching it now. I mean, I'm drinking the night, and it's not the same. It's the exact same. It must be the exact same with the players. They must get, you know,
just a day in the office, and that's it.
Aye,
you know, there's no twist to it. You know,
no disrespect to people like, I'm not going to mention any teams, but teams that don't get many fans. Obviously, this is it.
You got no fans. Don't you have the lad with the glasses? You got no fans.
Impacted me more, right enough, but
the Wheelstone Raider.
That's the man himself, the big shagger.
It's probably kind of, it's different because there is no fans, and you know, we're gutted. I think the players must be taking that into their mind. They must be heartbroken that there's no fans. There's no. I mean, like Scott Brown, he thrives in abuse. Basically, I think a lot of players do thrive in abuse, but I think Duffy.
I think they're fucking lucky there's no fans there to abuse them in the first place, because if they played like that and Celtic Park was full, they'd get booed off the pitch.
Aye. Definitely. I mean, I
think they're lucky there's no fans.
Well, hopefully this is not the season where we say, oh, because we didn't win 10 in a row because the fans were in there. Like, that sounds fucking pathetic. Sounds pathetic, because these guys are a highly paid fucking.
It is pathetic.
You know, like, it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And we're at to spend 35 million.
No, you're right.
In the calendar season on fucking signings. And we're not even fucking near the top. Yes, we have 3 games in hand, but it's not the clawless back. And it comes to a case where if we do win tomorrow, we win against Dundee and Ross County. Are you as confident going into Ibrox on the 2nd?
No. Point blank, no.
I think it's one of the ones, if you're not confident getting into Celtic Park, how confident you get into anybody. But as I said, there's no fans, so I think anybody can win. But no, it's.
But the thing that's what I'm going to say to you, like, a lot of people might come around.
Rangers don't have fans there either, like.
Yeah, but the thing is about the difference around the 2nd of January is we got a bit of winning momentum, and it's a Glasgow derby, and fair enough, you don't have fans. Pressure's got to be on them to deliver to go fucking, it could be 19 points or whatever points it is ahead, then no, there is. You've seen it today. Rangers do have faults.
There's no pressure on them, Keith. There's no pressure on them. They're in a position that they were never expected to be in.
And it's not a case that we have fucking, they've done so well. It's a case that we've also fucked up in our own ways, hitting claymores every fucking game. Like, signs have been there all season. Since Ferencváros, the signs have been there all season.
This 10 in a row was never for us to win. It was always for us to lose. We always had it to lose. And this so far has been an absolute shit show.
Because a lot of us have been cocky, that's why.
The 11 players on the pitch.
I know you have to say you put the blame the squad and blame the manager.
Players.
But it can't.
You do, though. The fans aren't kicking the fucking football, Keith.
The fans are paying the bleeding money and they're not delivering.
You can have fans singing the songs and making the atmosphere and all, but that's not going to change the 11 professional footballers on the pitch.
Yeah, I think majority of the players have ran out of steam and they don't give a fuck anymore. That's my honest opinion. I know, like, and that's why the change. That's why I think the changes will need to be made in that midfield and that goalkeeping issue, because I don't think Bain has been a liability. Barkas hasn't settled, and I think Barkas can come good, but it's the chances are quite slim at the moment. Every time he gets put back in goal, it's just causing errors. And I know it's not always his fault. It's down to the defence as well.
Yeah, and Duffy was muck for the last couple of weeks.
I thought Duffy was good against Lille.
Like, yeah, but before that, he came out. He started to score 3 goals, and then just went to pot. It must be terrible, like, as a Celtic fan, to get the opportunity to go and play at Celtic, have your whole community and family behind you as Celtic supporters.
They were screaming.
The personal pressure of that must be immense.
Yeah, and I was one of them fans that were like, get him in the door. And I was like, this is going to be a big fucking sign, and he's going to be the vice captain. He's going to hit the ground running. Yeah, he's forced 2 goals. I just felt like he was mentally burned out. All the Ireland games, not settling in, his dad on his mind. And then people might say that's not excuses, Keith. He's a professional footballer. But I'm sorry, your mental health's your wealth, regardless how much dollars you're making, or fucking pounds or euros, you know. People are saying,
yeah, but like at the end of the day, the chap lost his dad. Your head's gonna get fucked up over that, regardless of what position, what profession you're in. So, I'd give him a pass for them couple of weeks if he can turn it around.
I'd give him a pass as well, not because he's Irish. Give him a pass because we're going through a pandemic. People's mental health are all over the place. So. 2 seconds now. Here's a question for you, lads. Would you take Similovic back? I'm just going to go on mute for a second. Used to chat to each other for 1 second.
I would. I liked Simonovic. I thought he was a great defender. I think it was one of the ones I actually didn't think he'd actually left. But quick yes or no? I would take him back.
Yeah, definitely. Like, just for his tackle on Kenny Miller, I'd have a statue of him outside Parkhead for that.
I thought he needs to be framed.
Yeah. I have it in here somewhere. But yeah, no, Semenovic, yeah. Letting Sviatchenko go as well, I think, was a bit of a couple of years ago, was, I think, a bit of a risky move too. But it did pay off with getting Julian and stuff. So,
I know.
What do you think, Keith? Do you take him?
I liked Sviatchenko as well. I just think he was probably one of the better defenders than Simonovic. I did really like. It was like a couple of years ago when Andres Hinkle left. I loved him as
I loved Hinkle. Hinkle was a workhorse. He was a solid defender. And he can get a very underrated he was. Yeah, look, if people are going on about the zombies being on, let them
Just
come
like
in and have let them come in and gets me more views. Leave them to it. Like I wouldn't be going on a zombies page and looking at what they're talking about. That's just absolutely different level. So yeah,
I'm probably screwing Gordon as you know and putting on follow.
it's a bit of a weird one how it's a 2:15 kickoff tomorrow, isn't it?
Yes. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I'm say this because I'm working them on Monday, but I don't know why it wasn't a Saturday. Honestly, it's crazy. I don't know if we could play games in hand during the week while the cup games was on, but it's just
We should have played one of our games in hand on.
I'm sure we could die.
Like what was it? Saint Mirren and Aberdeen.
Aberdeen, aye.
I don't know who our game was meant to be this weekend because we're in the cup. I don't know who that was meant to be. A bit of a crazy one, but I'm gonna go 2-1 on this. What, Danny? What score you fancy?
I don't know. I'd be inclined to agree with you 2-1. I reckon they'll score first and put us under the cosh.
That's what I think is going to happen. I think it's going to be a deja vu as the final like last year.
Yeah.
We have the quality there. No question about it. We have the quality there. Mikey Johnson can come off the bench. Roger can come off the bench. Yeah, you can come on. Klamala can come on. Laxall could come on if he's not starting. So be interesting. So we were meant to have Livingston away this weekend. That would have been a fucking tough game anyway. Every game this season's like a cup final. And I don't think Lennon has got the team up for it. Is it a case that John Kennedy and Lennon have a drift there? Chris?
I don't. That very hard one. I mean, you can't really tell unless you're kind of in the zone sort of thing. I mean, as a player, I actually met John Kennedy a few times. Seemed a lovely guy, but obviously that kind of goes out the window when you're a kind of a manager or an assistant manager. But it's, I don't know. It's hard to kind of say. I mean, is it too big from being an assistant manager? I know it's an assistant manager, it's not a manager, but I do like John Kennedy, but something isn't right there, whether it's with the board or Lennon. But I think in regards to tomorrow, my prediction is going to be 3-1.
3-1 Hearts. Yeah, doubt yourself there for a second.
Well, you never know. After that game when we were gone 70 games unbeaten or 69 games unbeaten, I think I put 3-1 fucking Celtic on, and I think we get beat 3-1. I'm going to go for 3-1 tomorrow. I think we might score first and it might be one each, and I think we'll just have that cutting edge. But the thing is, Gordon's he's a good keeper, as we know. So
we just need to put pressure on him. Griffin needs to get a free kick and smash it through him.
Aye, I mean, then there's that guy says there, Kennedy needs to go. Something wrong with him and Neil. It is like, I don't know if there is a relationship barrier there. I mean, we all know Neil Lennon is, he's that kind of person. He doesn't take any shit. But the thing is he in the right, is he in the wrong sort of thing? And exactly what Keenan Floyd says, see if we lose him on he's got to go. I mean, he's got to. And it's hard saying that because I love Neil Lennon as a Celtic man. But, this isn't going to happen again. This is another piece of history. And I think it's a one-off game. We're in a pandemic, obviously, but I think this is it.
Danny, what do you think? If Griffiths or if Lennon's team don't win tomorrow, what happens with Lennon? Is he gone? Is he gone after the game? He resigns. Do you keep the board still stick by the guns? Don't listen to the fans. What happens in your eyes? What do you think would happen?
Celtic don't win tomorrow. Celtic don't win tomorrow. There's nothing internally going to change because they've already made a statement that they're going to back Lennon. You look at it as business decision. If they say we're going to sack Lenny, who do we get? Realistically, don't say Rafa because we couldn't afford Rafa, and I know
I don't think Rafa would come because I think it's selling the product today.
At this point in time, anything after Brendan Rodgers, you look at it. We haven't appointed since Gordon Strachan. We have appointed one genuine fucking qualified football manager.
Who? Tony Mowbray.
Yeah. Yeah. But like you look at it, right? All through them years, who's been our defensive coach?
John Kennedy.
What has been the main problem with them teams? The fucking defense. So like I think Celtic should drop him to the reserves if they want to stay loyal to him because of what happened to him. But get him as far as fuck away from the first team as physically possible.
I think so. I think John needs to move away from it, to be honest. Like, he's been a good servant to the club 16 years in the books, but I'd like to see Johan come back in, the big Swede come back in. Johan and Gary.
Still.
And this is where I got to the case, like a lot of Celtic fans. You're not going to get a high-profile manager in because it's a golden chalice. This job, the situation is at the moment. And Eddie Howe's not going to touch Celtic.
It's a poison chalice.
You know? Well, you turn around to golden chalice. Is how you look at it. But I don't think the likes of Alex Neil would.
Why wouldn't Eddie Howe take Celtic job? Brendan Rodgers did.
Because Brendan Rodgers done it because he had a bit of Irish relations to him, and because where he grew up and all, he took the job because he was out of work. Eddie Howe could walk into a lot of jobs in English football. That's why.
Why hasn't he then?
Because he's still taking a bit of time off. I'm still think he's waiting for the Arsenal job or an Everton job to come up. That's why.
Because he might get the Arsenal job. He's
like, it's not as if Celtic's a small club like fucking Bournemouth. I think Keith just got stung.
So regards to Eddie Howe, I can't see him come to Celtic. I don't think he would even afford his wages, whatever he's looking for.
I genuinely think the fucking pitfall this season was that John Kennedy was so fucking annoyed that Lenny got appointed first team manager. At the end of last season, they offered him the job for this season. John Kennedy wanted that job, and all he's done this year is fucking poison it. He's actively fucked it. That's just my opinion.
He's been a moany, but you could see it in his face expressions, even when we got the 2 wins the last couple of games. It looks like he's not having his periods. Do you think he'd be happy for the team? What do you think of that, Chris?
I know when you like John Kennedy, Chris, but you can't argue against the fact that for how many other managers he's been under, every single season the defense has been the fucking problem. And the defensive coach is John Kennedy. And John Kennedy is only in a job at Celtic because of what happened to him and nothing else. Or his dad played as well. But he needs to get as far as fuck away from the first team, in my opinion, than physically fucking possible.
What do you think of that, Chris?
Sorry, what was that question, Keith?
Danny was saying that he just feels that Kennedy's being put on the sympathy vote and the defence has been shit since he's been in there.
I don't know if you can blame John Kennedy. It's a hard one. I mean, what I've been told.
How can you not blame John Kennedy when he's the defensive coach and our defense? It's like saying the sales are shit this month. We're not going to blame the sales manager. We'll blame the fucking operations manager in the warehouse. No, you blame the sales manager. So we're going to blame Kennedy for the fucking defense being shy. Like, how can you defend them? You literally can't. And under so many managers over how many years, and every single year, the defense is the problem.
Like, it wasn't too bad under Brendan because Brendan had a professional attitude coming in, and he obviously he knew what the crack is. But I just feel I just been getting the vibe since the start of the season with Kennedy. Just his motions on the sidelines. He doesn't give a rat's fuck. He doesn't care, and I just feel like he's hoping for Neil to go so he can fucking take the reins until the end of the season. And personally, he's not good enough. Even if he went to Hibs last season, he's still not good enough.
I mean, I don't think I've seen all the kind of photos and stuff like that, facial expressions and stuff like that. And one of my mates kind of elaborates to that. I don't know if facial expressions kind of really create that picture sort of thing.
But you look at the difference with John Kennedy when Kennedy and Lennon came in at that time. Well, Kennedy was there when Lennon came in. When we beat Aberdeen away at Batodry, Kennedy looked like a completely different person. Happy as jumping around with Lenny. Now I just think there's a divide there. There's a massive divide there. I don't think there's a divide between Scott Brown and Neil Lennon. There's always been rumours about it, but I don't think there is. I think the divide is Kennedy. I feel Neil Lennon didn't get a say on who came in as the coaching staff. Strachan was not Neil Lennon's choice.
So, see, do you know who the defensive coach was at Bolton and Hibs?
Johan Mialbi, Gary Parker.
All right, was it, mate?
When Lenny was in charge. Gary Parker and
The
Johan
man is a
Mialbi.
fucking encyclopedia of useless football manager.
And the thing about Johan Mialbi is he's been asked many times by former Celtic players that do podcasts and stuff, if they came calling, would you take it back in a heartbeat? But that's what I think. That's what I'm afraid I think Lawwell is, because Lawwell has a bit of a fucking flavour of the month with Kennedy. He's not going to get rid of Kennedy. I think you get rid of Neil before they get rid of John. I don't think John would walk away from it.
How has Kennedy shown some sort of ability? Fuck me, he's robbing a fucking wage is what he's doing. That's his only ability.
He hasn't been any sort of motivation on that sidelines this season. Every time Neil turns something, he looks at him, he's like, you know, and it's been every time. Now, all he's had to say about Steve
I'm
Woods.
more aggravated. I'm more aggravated on the side of my under 12s pitch shouting at them than what fucking even Lennon and Kennedy and Strachan are. Like, you look at fucking, not to draw comparisons, but I am. You look at the fucking Jose Mourinho or Jurgen Klopp. Like, these are the best managers in the world. Pepe or whatever, Pep Guardiola. They're fucking out on the sideline shouting and screaming instructions for the whole match, cheering them on when they're doing well and encouraging them and giving them a bomb when they need it. Lennon, John, and the Strachan lad, they're just sat there, like disinterested.
On the laptop, as Paul says
annoying.
there. As Paul Irvin says, they're advertising laptops.
Yeah.
I know.
That's not what they're paid for.
What are they actually doing in a laptop? I mean, I know it's. I mean, Christ,
They got a sports psychologist in this season, and that has not worked. It's gone to shit.
Nah, that's a question, Keith. Actually,
if it's not fucking broken, fix it.
Paul Miller. That's who it was. for Scotland. We should have kept him in the job. It's gone through Millers, Kelty Millers.
That's okay.
There's a good one. We need Mialbi and Balde type of defenders again. No nonsense and strong. See, the
Absolutely.
era of football, that style of football is gone. That type of aggression with football where you just get in and break the lad up, didn't care. That's all. It's all soft now in the game. That's what the sad thing about is the talks that they're actually bringing in the concussion stops and stuff like that into the game, which I agree with.
I was going to ask, I've got a very good friend of mine that wants to come in for a wee chat. How do I do it? How are you wanting more people in? No.
I'll be heading off now in about 2 minutes anyway, but I'm going to go for the final tomorrow. I'm going to go 2-1. Chris, what score are you going tomorrow? 3-1, is it?
3-1.
3-1. Danny, what are we going for?
2-1, same as you. They're fucking.
2-1.
They're gonna rally us over for the first half an hour, and then we'll hopefully fucking do them.
Hopefully, because if we lose tomorrow, I'm telling you, Coronation Street Part 3 is going to happen up at Celtic Park or Hampden. You know,
can we not just keep this fucking discussion going on about Kennedy and the background staff, because it needs addressing fast, like.
That's the whole point of Celtic fans have protested, because it's not just the team that's the cracks here. It's the coaching, and it's the likes of Lawwell, the way Lawwell's presenting himself. He hasn't came out like a man outside the steps of Celtic Park said, look, we're changing together. It's all these fucking pussy statements.
But like what Steve Woods and John Kennedy brought to the table in the last 2 years.
Well, Steve Woods has been there a long time as a goalkeeping coach, Danny.
Okay. But so is John Kennedy.
But Steve
this
Woods,
year is the year that we need to fucking.
Steve Woods has walked on.
They've got us to a point where we have. They've got us to a point where we have equaled the Scottish record of leagues. We need to go fucking one better and get to 10. Now, what have they done last year to ensure that this year gets over the line? They got rid of Gordon. Fraser fucked off. We're left with Bain. They brought in Barkas. Barkas didn't work. Then we had Duffy coming in. Started off great. Fell on his face. The consistency. We need to kick on from last season.
I'm going to head off, folks. DL, Mike is